So camera is over there. So this is a little demonstration video trying to get across the experiential therapy a la Leslie Greenberg version of the empty chair technique, as opposed to, say, the Fritz Perls Gestalt version of it, which I'm hoping you're not about to do. I'm Tom Rodebaugh. I'm a psychologist. I'll be playing a client that I made up based on nobody in particular.
I'm Julie Levitan. I am a graduate student. I'll be playing a therapist, basically seeing myself.
And Julie knows basically what I'm about to tell you about this person, that he's a late 40s man who lost his wife about 9 months ago, has 2 small children, and was depressed for a while after that, but now feels like he is no longer feeling depressed and would screen out for depression, but he's having emotional reactions sometimes to his children. He was their primary caregiver before this happened, and continues to be their primary caregiver, and is very distressed by these reactions he's having sometimes, and would like some help with that.
Well, let's get into it. Alright. Good to see you. Could you tell me a little bit about what's been going on lately?
Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, things are a lot better than they were. But I have these moments when I'm dealing with the kids. They're 4 and 6 years old, so there's a lot of things that one could get upset about, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even any of those things. It's just moments sometimes, especially when they both remind me of their mom a lot. And sometimes it's just, I just get more angry than I'm used to getting with them, and I back off, and I'm doing my best to try to be there for them, and it really bothers me that this is getting in the way of that.
Okay, got it. So it sounds like there are some moments where they're reminding you of your wife who passed, and that is bringing out a reaction in you that you're having a hard time dealing with in those moments. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's the last thing I want to do to. They lost their mom. I don't want to. I want to be there for them. Their grandmother, my wife's mother, has been great and really supportive, and so it's good that there's always someone there for them. But I want to be there for them.
Got it. So this reaction that happens when your emotions are kind of coming out is getting in the way of how you want to be there for them. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if I either stay there and kind of shut down, and I'm sure I'm no fun, or I find some way to take a break. And I take a break, and I don't know that I feel much better after the break. Like I'm a little more together, but there doesn't seem to be. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what to do with it when it comes up.
Those feelings that are coming up that you don't know what to do with, do you have a sense of kind of, are they directed towards your children, or do they feel directed towards someone else?
I mean, I don't know, but it seems kind of obvious that I can't predict when it's going to happen, but I'm aware when it's happening that something feels like something's reminded me of their mom.
Yeah.
When it's either some way that they're being or something they said, or sometimes they'll bring her up at odd times, and so I don't generally. It's easier if they're actually annoying me. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Used to dealing with that, but I know that in those moments, once or twice I've kind of snapped and yelled at them like they are actually annoying me, and they're actually their fault, which is even worse. But it's pretty clear it's not really. Yeah.
Okay. So it feels like even though there may be bringing up these feelings, the feelings are about maybe your wife and kind of.
I mean, I guess so. It's been it's almost been a year, so it seems like I should not. I don't know whether I should have feelings or not. I really don't know, but I want not to.
Understandable. These are like hard feelings to have. But is it? It sounds like there are feelings there.
Yeah.
Even though you don't want to have them, that these feelings are coming up, and I wonder if it feels like that those feelings don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Okay. I have an idea in mind for a technique we sometimes use when people are having feelings that don't have anywhere to go, or they're having a hard time figuring out where to direct those feelings, and those feelings are getting in the way of them living their lives in the now in a way that feels good.
Okay.
Does that sound like something you might be interested in?
Part of me is a little worried about what it's going to be, but that sounds like that would be a good thing if there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can tell you a little bit about what it might look like.
Okay.
We would use this chair here, and I would ask you to imagine that someone is in this chair, and I think based on the feelings that you've described, it would make sense for it to be your wife. And
Okay.
yeah. And so it might be hard to imagine, and it might be hard to express some of those things, but I am wondering if giving yourself a chance to express some of the feelings that are coming up when you're navigating difficult situations with your kids to your wife might give those feelings a little bit of a place to go.
Well, I mean, I can't say. I think you might be right, although it's not an easy thing for me to contemplate doing.
Definitely, yeah. And I think it's part of the reason why we're going to do it in here. So I'll be here, but I'm going to ask you to focus on speaking to the chair. But I'll be here to kind of help you stay in the moment with the chair, with your wife. And then once we're done, we'll take a minute to debrief and talk about it. Does that feel okay?
Okay. So what do I? So I try to talk to her in the chair.
Yeah. So it might help to think about, like, imagine one of these moments with your kids has come up. Maybe they've said something about her or been acting in a way that reminds you of her. Are there things that you might like to say to her if you could?
I mean, it what comes to mind seems really petty. Like I would be talking to her about, oh God, what she did with, I mean, benefits. It's so petty, but
Tell her.
oh, I don't. Honey, I don't understand. I want to be there for the kids, that too. And it must just have slipped your mind or something, but we talked about how, since you were the one making most of the money and I was the one spending most of the time with the kids, that it was important for you to max out your life insurance, and you didn't, honey. And now I don't want to have to go back to work more. I want to be there for the girls, but now I have to. I just don't. I wish you'd done it. I wish you'd made that possible, and you didn't. And I just wish you had.
Try that again. Tell her again. I wish you had done that.
I wish you had done that. I mean, this is the kind of thing we always got into, right? I know you were busy and you were stressed and little things would not happen, and now I feel bad about every time we had an argument about that, but it still makes me mad, because now it has a real impact. I can't do this the way I would have wanted to, and I wish I could.
You can tell her again. It makes me mad.
It makes me mad, just like all the times that it did. I don't know. Why do you... It's just the way it was. The way we always were about stuff, but I didn't expect it to come back like this, hon.
Telling her that this is the way we always are, but I didn't expect it to have this impact on me.
I didn't expect that. So what it is now, I need to find a way to make some money. And your mom has been really helpful, and the girls are getting older. They're going to be able to be in school soon. I had a little bit of time. I really wanted to be there for them. And I'm going to fall short on that. And as I'm talking to you about it, I feel less angry about it and more sad about it, because it's what you would have wanted to. I know. Just can't fill out paperwork, that's all.
Can you stick with that sad for a second? I don't know if she heard that.
I'm just sad to not. Girls have been through a lot, and I want to be there for them, and I will be, but not as much as I wanted to be. And so I keep thinking of that when I'm with them, and then that makes it harder to be with them. I want to find a way to actually be with them when I'm with them.
So those feelings are getting in the way of how I want to be with them?
Those feelings are getting in the way of how I want to be with them. How we would both want me to be with them.
What's it feel like to tell her this? Can you tell her,
Tell her how it feels to tell her that. it's hard to admit that I was angry at you about that. Because they're so... That's not the main... It's not the main feeling I have, but it's a feeling I have.
Do you want to share some of the feelings, the main feelings that come with the anger too?
Well, when I feel the anger, I feel bad about feeling the anger. I don't want to have that feeling, and then I get caught up in it. I get angry at you for making me angry, which is not the first time you've heard that. That's happened before, but I don't have you there to talk it through with. And that just makes it hard to get through.
Let me try that one more time. It's hard to get through the anger without you.
It's hard to get through the anger without you there. To do one of your ridiculous apologies and stories about how it is you managed not to do the thing, and then it would just be a funny thing, even if it would not even been the first time that it was actually a lot of theoretical money or time or whatever. We did that before, but that was us interacting, and now it's just me.
Is there anything else you feel like you haven't said about this? You wish you could have those funny moments, and instead this?
Well, I wish I could have those funny moments. And there's a part of me that feels really alone about all this, but it's like, I feel like you would be telling me it's kind of my own fault if I don't remember those moments. But I'd have to be honest with myself about the anger, I think, to even remember to do that.
Okay. Let's come out of it for a second. Before we kind of process any details, I'm just curious what that experience was like for you.
I mean, the main thing I'm thinking about is I have these feelings, I get upset, and then actually what I do, and the kids are with her mom, is start trying to do some freelance work, which now seems ridiculous. Like I'm trying to distract myself from that feeling. That part's not ridiculous, but it's just part of the same thing. Like that makes me angry at her too.
It almost like feeds the anger.
Yeah.
Without giving it anywhere to go.
I mean, I guess part of me knew this is where it was coming from, but it was hard to sit with it long enough to figure out what it was.
Yeah. It definitely sounded like you knew in your heart kind of where that anger was coming from. But as you said, it's different now. You don't have emotion of finding the humor and the love in it.
Yeah.
I noticed at the end you started thinking about how she might be responding.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something that we did this time, since it was a lot. It was a lot to try on the first try, just speaking to her. But that might be something that we could try in the future, if it would be helpful to kind of imagine how might she respond.
I mean, it might be. I also feel like it just started happening as soon as I paid attention to what the feelings actually were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be helpful then.
Just curious if you have any debriefing thoughts as a therapist in this situation, which is something that people don't usually get to hear in these kind of demonstration videos.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I wasn't conscious of time and wanting to show a little bit of how to start the debrief, I probably would have encouraged you to try getting in the other chair and responding as the wife, just in the moment. I think it would have been harder to come out of it and then go back into it. But I think I was conscious of time and the fact that the microphone is in the other chair.
Yes, I worked that out probably through as well.
Yeah. Because I do think it sounded like there was a response that was wanted,
right,
to kind of really fully get past it.
Yeah.
But also, I think as the client, you got there pretty swiftly. But it seemed like there were kind of many layers of emotions that I wanted to make sure you had time to express.
Yeah. So I was, and I certainly have seen people do empty chair work and get through emotions very quickly, but I was purposefully being on the quick end. I've definitely also seen people who needed more time and sitting with more things to get through them.
Yeah, I think sometimes people, at least the limited experience I've had, sometimes people can really want to start on the those logistics, right, where you started, benefits, and spend a lot more time there before getting to the anger about it.
Right.
So sometimes I think it can involve a little bit more coaching of how does that make you feel? Can you tell her how that makes you feel?
Right.